Saturday afternoon at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Beijing, China, Nicole Kushner-Meyer made a presentation to Chinese investors. Now, Meyer is the sister of Jared Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor. A New York Times reporter Javier Hernandez, who will join me shortly, was there in the room. Quote, "I asked Kushner's sister whether $150 million in Chinese investment posed a conflict of interest. Leave us alone," her entourage yelled. PR reps kicked us out of Kushner meeting with investors in Beijing, saying, "We don't want to make a scene." And from a Washington Post researcher, "People from the Chinese company that works with the Kushners surrounded me and grabbed my shoulder. I was threatened, harassed, and forced to delete recordings and photos of the Kushner family recruiting Chinese investors." Why all the ruckus? Meyer had invoked her brother's service as chief executive of Kushner Companies and his resignation from the company to join the Trump administration as she solicited $150 million to finance a Kushner development in New Jersey. The money would be provided through a much criticized government program known as EB-5 that awards foreign investors a path to citizenship in exchange for investments of at least $500,000 in American development projects. The next day, Sunday, Kushner Companies apologized in a statement that reads in part, "Kushner Companies apologizes if that mention of her brother was in any way interpreted as an attempt to lure investors." But the very same day, Sunday, Kushner Properties was in Shanghai making another pitch to potential investors at the Four Seasons Hotel. Security guards kept reporters outside the lobby. 2 presentations in 2 days. It does make you wonder how many of these pitch meetings have been made since Donald Trump's election in which reporters were not present. And joining me now live from Beijing, Javier Hernandez, China correspondent at the New York Times. And Javier, I know we have a bit of a delay, so I'm going to just ask you, what exactly was the scene there? What was the goal of the event that you attended?
Well, it was a very high-end event meant to attract the wealthiest of Chinese who are very interested in getting green cards to come to the U.S. And so on a Saturday afternoon, we went to the Ritz-Carlton. It was a publicly advertised event, sat down and listened as the Kushner Company made this presentation, putting on this pitch for investors about this new building.
And the idea here is that if you invest a certain amount of money, you get a visa to the U.S.? That's the basic thrust of it?
That's right. It's $500,000, and that puts you on the path to a green card. And for a lot of Chinese, that's a really popular idea. They want to escape the smog. They want to escape a poor education system in some places. And so they're willing to put up that money. For investors, they get a great source of relatively cheap financing. So for both sides, it's a win-win deal, and there's a lot of interest right now.
And tell me about the context in which Jared Kushner and the President Donald Trump were mentioned in the course of this pitch.
Well, Jared Kushner's sister, Nicole, mentioned that her brother had recently left as CEO and was now serving in the Trump administration. There was also earlier in the presentation by another pitch, there was a presentation, a slideshow that showed the president's image as a key decision maker on the EB-5 visa program.
That seems to me key here, because the thing they're actually pitching is actually attached to federal immigration policy, the existence of this visa. And you're saying in the context of the pitch, they're saying very explicitly to investors, this is a program run by the U.S. government with Donald Trump sitting at the head of it.
Right, and there's been a lot of criticism and talk of reform about the EB-5 program. Some people have suggested getting rid of it entirely. So it's a really important decision in the next 6 months whether they're going to renew this program or not. And certainly from the Kushner side, they were trying to reassure investors, at least through this image, that these were the key stakeholders, and it's likely to be renewed, and the criteria might change, but we can sort of assume that it will be renewed.
Now, part of the reason they're doing these road shows in Ritz-Carltons in Beijing is because they're having trouble with financing for the project. The Bloomberg headline, "Kushner project touted in China is in trouble at home." They need this capital. That's why they're doing these road shows. Is that correct?
They've turned to this program, this EB-5 program, several times, and I think it's a really popular way for them because, as I mentioned, the investors here don't really care about the return on an investment. They're just looking for green cards. It gives them a very quick access to a lot of money, $150 million in this case, which is about 15% of the entire project. So we're talking about a very, very efficient way if you want to build something in New York, New Jersey, these high-end markets, to get your funding and to get a lot of people involved.
All right, Javier Hernandez, who broke the story, did a great job reporting it in Beijing tonight. Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.